Welcome to Canadian PGA TV. We're here in sunny Orlando, Florida for the PGA Merchandise Show, and joined by a fellow Canadian and the CEO of the NGCOA Canada, Mr. Jeff Calderwood. And Jeff, you're down here for what you said is the 22nd year at the PGA Show. Why is it so important for you to be down here?
Well, it's a great show every year. It's changed a little over those 22 years too. For me, the best part of it is it's my chamber of commerce. It's a meeting place for so many people in the golf community, and I end up spending almost all my time in and out of meetings, and the trade show floor has actually become secondary, which wasn't always the case over 22 years, but right now that's the main benefit for me. And in between those meetings, I walk the floor and find out what's new, and relationships with fellow associations and so on get built. It's all good.
Now, Jeff, obviously Canadian PGA and yourself, very powerful brands and important roles in Canada, and working closer together. Why is that so important for the golf community in Canada to have the two of us working so close?
Well, I think with the pros being on the front line, it just makes them by definition sort of the key employee at most golf courses. And the secret to the success, on the business plan of the golf course as much lies in their hands as anybody. So then developing between these two associations strategies to make the most of that in various different ways, from growing the game to making pros as appropriately skilled for the employment opportunities as can be, back and forth for the owners, for the pros, therefore for the NGCOA and for the CPGA. I think the synergies are ultimately important, and will be even more so in the future. It's just going to increase just due to the nature of the industry. It's grown up a lot back to those 22 years. Just think of what's come through our Canadian golf industry and even worldwide in the golf industry over 22 years. It's a much more sophisticated industry now, and it needs to get much more in the future. It's now matured to the point it's very competitive. That comes back to the role of the golf pro, differences in the business plan and how golf courses are managed from where they used to be. It's all up to a higher level. So these two associations working closely together to make that happen, very critical in the future.
Speaking of which, we have upcoming major vote March 25th with our PACE program, which I know you've learned quite a bit about it. We've had some of our staff and some of our executives inform you and some of your executives about it. First of all, what's your feeling on it, and how important is it for the PACE program to pass in order to have your members, your owners of the golf facilities, to make better buying decisions, better hiring decisions, and hire the right people for the right jobs?
Well, I think first of all, the CPGA is to be commended for leading that particular initiative. That connects to what I just said about the future needs of our industry big time. So, kudos to the CPGA board and staff team to get it there. In terms of what it actually means for golf course operators across Canada, I think that the days of the positioning of a golf pro in the past are gone. The future is very bright as long as that business acumen is added to the more stereotypical culture of the golf pro without losing that. Mm-hmm. And I see this PACE program as a very big part of that solution to create the future golf pro model with all those business acumen skills that it needs for them to be employable and for the golf course operator to be successful. And really, it's the most critical position in the industry, I think, for a golf course. And it slipped a little bit from the golf pro's perspective over such as those 22
mm-hmm.
years. And golf courses were starting to go outside of the industry, and they're bringing in people from the hospitality industry, such as hotel GMs, people from the retail industry, doing things that traditionally ought to have been the next evolution of the golf pro. Mm-hmm. And that slipped a little bit then in the golf pro's position, which I do think this PACE program enables all that to be recovered and repositioned for the future needs of golf pros to meet the needs of the industry. So a big believer in the PACE program. I do hope it passes. We used our board, or the CPGA used our board, as a sort of a focus group. We've tested it part way along, threw in some feedback, and it got a very good reaction from our board, which are golf course operators from coast to coast and mm-hmm. from small to up to Club Link at the top end. That's who that board is. So that focus group is behind it. I think it's good. I certainly hope it passes in March.
And final question, Jeff. You live in Ottawa, that's where your head office is, and your Senators were down in the basement with the Leafs for a while there, but now they've won 7 straight games. What's the story?
I'm a season's ticket holder, so I get to speak my voice on that, do I? Yeah, they got all my money for the last 18 years. Yeah, much different team now. It's not quite as exciting, not as high-powered a team, but they're winning 7 in a row, and they're positioned to make the playoffs if things carry on the way they are. They may not be the best team in the league, but they're the best team in Ontario, right?
That's right. Exactly. Well, Jeff, I really appreciate it. As I said before, what you've done for us in terms of your desire to work together is huge for us. I know our team always speaks highly of you and your staff as well. So we appreciate it, and I know hopefully March 26th we'll be working even closer.
Thank you kindly. Good luck.